The Squire's Prologue. Squire, come near, if it your will be, and say somewhat of love, for, certes, ye connin thereon as much as any man. Nin, sir, quod he, but I will say as I can five with hurtly will, for I will not rebel again your lust, a tale will I tell. Have me excused if I speak amiss, my will is good, and lo, my tale is this. Here beginneth the squire's tale. 1. At Sari, in the land of Tartary, 10 there dwelt a king, that wearied Russie, 3rd which there dade many a doughty man. This noble king was cleat Cambinskin, which in his time was of so great renown that there is nowhere in no region 15 so excellent a lord in all thing, him like not that longeth to a king. As of the sect of which that he was born, 10, he kept his lay, to which that he was sworn, and there to be was Hardy, W.S., and Riche, 20 Petus and Iest, and evermore Wyleash, 462, T 10,335 to 10,371. Sooth of his word, benign and honourable, of his courage as any centre stable, young, fresh, and strong, in arms desirous as any bachelor of all his house. 25 a fair person he was unfortunate, and kept always so wel royal estat, that there was now her switch another man. 20. This noble king, this Tartary Cambinskin had 2 sones on Elfita his wif, 30 of which the eldest hight Algersif, that other son was cleat Cambelo. A daughter had this worthy king also, that youngest was, and hight Canacee. But for to tell you I'll hear boti, 35 at life nat in my tonge, neen my conning, I dar not undertake so hey a thing. Myn English eke is insufficient, 30, it most been a rether excellent, that could his colours longing for that art, 40 if he should here descriven every part. I am non-switch, I moot speak as I can. Heading, after L8. So EHN, PTHL 20. HN pietus and iest and you are more illish, CPPT lane HL. And Petus and iest all we illish, with first syllable deficient. 23, and strong, strong end. 35, neen, CPPT lane and Ian, HL and E38. I most, miswritten, HL. He most, rested most. And so biful that, when this Cambinskin hath 20 winter born his diadem, as he was wont fro year to year, idemi, 45 he leet the fest of his native it don cryan thurgout sari his city, the last itis of March, after the year. 40, Phoebus the sun full iery was in clear, for he was nae his exaltation 50 inches martes face, and in his mansion in Aries, the colricote signa. Full lusty was the wedger and benign, for which the foals, again the sun shen, what for the sesson and the young green, 55 full loud sungen here affections, him semed han geeten hem protections again the sword of winter keen and cold. 46, HN thurghout, rest thurg. 53, EHN fowls. 463, T 10,372 to 10,408. 50, this Cambinskin, of which I have yet told, in royal vestment sit on his days, 60 with diadem, full hay in his paleys, and halt his fest, so solemn and so riche that in this world and me was the noon at leash. Of which if I shall tell len al thuray, then will they it occupy a summer's day, 65 and ekid ne death nat for to devise at every course the order of here service. I will not tell len of here strange sows, 60, ne of here swans, ne of here heron sows. Eke in that London, as tell len nights old, 70 there's some meat that is full dainty hold, that in this London men reckshe of it but small, there nis no man that may report an L. I will not tarry him yow, for it is prime, and for it is no fruit but loss of time, 75 unto my first I will have my reckars. 62, EHLOM and E 68. Nor, rest and E. And so biful that, after the thrid cores, WHYL that this king sit thus in his nobli, 70, Herkninches minstrelsir things play byforn him at the board deliciously, 80 inches at the hally door al sodily there cam a knight up on a steed of bras, and in his hand a brood mirror of glass. Upon his thumb he had of gold a ring, and by his side a naked sword hanging, 85 and up he rideth to the hay board. In all the halley in e was there spoke a word for mervel of this night, him to behold, 80, full bisily the way 10 young and old. 78, E.H.N. Minstrels. 86, E spoken, cm spoken, rest spoke. This strange night, that came thus suddenly, 90 alarmed save as he'd full richly, salueth king and queen, and lords elect by order, as they satten in the halley, with so hay reverence and obeisance as WL and specias in continence, 464, T 10,409 to 10,444. 95 That Gawain, with his old courteous eye, though he were come a gene out of fairy, ne could him nat amand with a word. 90, and after this, by forn the hay board, he with a manly voice seeth his message, 100 after the firm he used in his language, withouten vice of syllable or of letra, and, for his tale shold some the betray, according to his wards was his share, as techeth art of spech ham that at lear, 105 albeit that I can nat sound his style, ne can nat climben over so hay a style, yet say I this, as to commune on taunt, 100, thus mush amounteth all that ever he meant, if it so be that I have it in mind. 91 E sailweth, HNCM salueth, rest salute. 96 E CM common. 105 CPPT lane HLet, EHNCM omit. 110 Esaid, the king of Araby and of Ind, my legate lord, on this solemn day salueth thou as he best can and may, and sendeth thou, in honor of your fest, by me, that am all ready at your hest. 115 This steed of bras, that easily and WL can, in the space of Ode naturel, this is to say, in 4 and 20 hours, 110, whereso yell list, in drought or else showers, burr in your body into every place. 120 To which your hurt willneth for to pace without and wem of yow, third foul or fair, or, if yow list to fleen as high in the air as doth an eagle, one am list to soar, the same steed shall bear yow evermore. 125 Withouten harm, till ye be the yow lest, though that ye slepen on his back or rest, and turn iron, with writhing of a pin. 120 He that had wrought could full many a gin, he weighed many a constellation. 130 Ere he had doen this operation, 465, T 10,445 to 10,480. And knew full many a seal and many a bond. 110 E.H.N. Arabe. 113, 114. E. Feast, Heast. 115 E.H.N. Wheel. 116 E. Naturel. 123 E. Wannet, rest omitat. This mirror eke, that I have an myn hand, hath switch a might, that men may in it see one that shall fall in any adversity. 135 Unto your regni or to yourself also, and openly who is your friend or foo. And over all this, if any lady bright, 130, hath set her herd on any manner white, if he be fowls, she shall his trace unsee. 140 His new love and all his subtlety so openly, that there shall nothing hide. Wherefore, agene this lusty summer's tide, this mirror and this ring, that ye may see, he hath sent to my lady Canacee. 145 Your excellent daughter that is here. 138 E. Ptian, rest on. 144 E. Vientu, cm, onto, rest to. The virtue of the ring, if he will hear, is this, that, if here lusted for to were, 140, up on here thumb, or in here pursid bear, there is no fowl that fleeth under the heaving. 150 That she initial WL understand his Steveen, and know his meaning openly and plain, and answer a him in his language agene. And every grah that groweth up on roach she shall eke know, and whom it will do boat. 155 Lb his wounds never so deep and wide. This naked sword, that hangeth by my side, switch for two hath, that what man so you smite. 150 Third out his arm ere it will curve and bite, or it as thick as is a branched oak. 160 And what man that is wounded with the stroke shall never be healed till that yow list, of grace, to stroke him with the plat and thilk place there he is hurt. This is as much to same, ye mote with the plat sword agene. 165 Stroke him in the wound, and it will close. This is a very sooth, withouten glose. 466 T 10,481 to 10,516. It faileth nat whyl it is in your hold. 158 E. Will hym, rest omit hym. 160 E. A. Cm that, rest the. 162, HN, plat, rest plat, C 164. ECM, that, rest thilk. 164, ECM, PT plat, rest plat. 165, ECM, strike, rest stroke. 160, and one this night hath thus his tale told, he rideth out of Halley, and down he light. 170 his steed, which that shoon is sawn bright, stant in the court, as still as any stun. This knight is to his chamber lad anon, and is unarmed and to meet Wyset. 171, HL is still, rest OM as. 173, E vientu, the rest two. The presents been full royally Wyfet. 175 this is to saying, the sword and the mirror, and borne anon into the hay tour with certain officers ordained therefore. 170, and unto Cannacy this ring was bore solemnly, the she sit at the table. 180 but sickerly, withouten any fable, the ore of bras, that may not be remued, it stand as it were to the ground wyglued. There may no man out of the place it drive for noon engine of Windos or Poliv. 185 and cause why, for they can net the craft. And therefore in the place they haunted laughed till that the knight hath taught him the maneer. 180, to voiden him, as ye shall after hear. 178, ECM this, rest the. 184, ENE, rest or. Greek was the prise, that swarmeth to and fro. 190 to Gorin on this or that standeth so, for it so hay was, and so brood and long, so WL proportion for to bend strong, right as it were a steed of Lombardy, therewith so orly, and so quick a view 195 as it a jaunty poilis courser were. For certes, fro his tail unto his heir, nature any art ni could him nat amand. 190, in no degree, as el the pepple wendy. But evermore here most wonder was, 200 how that it could goon, and was of bras, it was of fairy, as the pepple semed. Diverse folk diversely they demied. 467, T 10,517 to 10,552. As many heads, as many wits there been. They murmureden as doth a swarm of bin. 205 and maiden skiles after her fantasies, rehearsing of thy's old poetries, and Satan, it was like the Pegasy. 200, the or that had winges for to flee, or else it was the Greeks or Sinan. 210 that brought Troy to destruction, as men may in thy's old jests read. Myn hurt, quad un, is evermore in dread. I trow some men of arms been therein, that shop en hem this city for to win. 215 it were right good that el switch thing were no. Another roan to his philolo, and said, he lieth, it is rather like. 210, and apparence why mad by some magic, as I a jellers playin at thy's fests Greta. 220 of sundry didst thus they yangle and treat, as lewd pepple demeth commonly of things that ben mad more subtly than they can in her luns comprehend, they demon gladly to the batter endy. 189, CPPT lane HL sworn. 195, poilies. 200, go. 201, EHN, CM, as, rest of. ECM, al the, resto med L 202. They, HN, CPPT han, lane ha. 203, headies, HN huids, CP heeds, rest heads, headies. HLOM there. 206, thys, CPPD lane HL the. 207, that it, rest omit that. 211, HL may, rest omit. 217, CM, it, rest for it. 223, ludness, HL ludens. 225 and some of hem wondered on the mirror, that born was up into the maester tour, how men might in it switch things see. 220, another answered, and said it might WL be naturelli, by compositions 230 of angles and of sly reflections, and Satan, that in Rome was switch on. They speaken of Alosin and Vitulin, and Aristotle, that writen in here lives of quaint mirrors and of prospective. 235 is known they that han here books heard. 226, high, CM high, rest maester. And other folk han wondered on the sword that wold a person thurg out everything. 230, and Fian spech of Thelephus the king. 468, T 10,553 to 10,587. And of Achilles with his quaint spear, 240 for he could with it boat a hele and deer, right in switch wise as men may with the sword of which right now ye han yourselven heard. They speak in of sondry harding of metal, and speak of medicines therewithal, 245 and how, and when, it should why hard be, which is unknow all gates unto me. 239, E.C.M. with, rest 4. Though speak they of Cannace's ring, 240, and Sadenala, that switch a wonder thing of craft of rings heard they never non, 250 save that he, Moises, and King Salomon had a name of conning in switch art. Thus sane the people, and drawing him apart. But Nathalese, some saiden that it was wonder to make in of fern ashen glass, 255 and yet nis glass nat like assen of fern, but for they han wino in it so fern, therefore cesseth her eye angling and her wonder. 250, as sore wondrin psalm on cause of fonder, on ebby, on flood, on gossamer, and on mist, 260 and alething, till that the cause is wist. Thus he angle they in demon and devise, till that the king gone fro the board arise. 251, all had. 256, HLI known, rest known. 260, EHL on Allah, rest OM on. 262, EHN the board, rest his board. Phoebus hath laughed the angle meridional, and yet ascending was the beast royal, 265 the Johnny Leon, with his Eldarin, one that this Tartary king, this Cambinskin, roos fro his board, that he sat full high. 260, Toforn him guth the loud minstrelsy, till he cam to his chamber of pairments, 270 there is they sown in diverse instruments, that it is like in heaven for to hear. Now dancin lusty Venus children dear, for in the fish your lady sat full high, 469, T 10,588 to 10,623. And loketh on hem with a freenly ye. 265, HN Alderin, HL Adrian, rest Aldrian. 266, HL repeats this, rest omit second this. 269, 270. E. Pairments, instruments. 271, HL Lane Hewen, rest Heween.